Dear friends, I am Parvinder from West Highlander and I welcome you all in this video about New Zealand study visa requirements. In this video, I would be speaking about the 6 requirements the students need to meet in order to apply for their New Zealand visa. So friends, keep watching for complete information. The first and foremost requirement the study in New Zealand aspirants need to meet is of academic requirement. The students need to have a certain percentage of marks in their 10+2 or graduation if they would like to get admission into a college or university in New Zealand. If you're a student who has done his 10+2 and is wishing to study in New Zealand, then you can either opt for a 2 years diploma program of level 5 and level 6 or a 3 years of bachelor's degree which is at level 7 of NZQA framework. To get admission into these programs, the students need to have at least 55% of marks. Now this percentage of marks may vary depending on the course you wish to study in New Zealand, as well as it may also vary on the board you may have done your 10+2 from. If you're a student who has done his graduation, then the course choice you can do in New Zealand is either a graduate diploma, which is at level 7 of New Zealand qualification framework, a postgraduate diploma, which is at level 8, or a master's degree, which is at level 9. To get admission into these programs, it is highly suggested that the students have at least 60% of marks in their graduation. Again, this percentage of marks may vary depending on the university or college you may wish to study in New Zealand. So these were the academic requirements the students need to meet if they would like to study in New Zealand. The second requirement the students must meet is of English language. New Zealand is an English language speaking country, and to get admission into a program in New Zealand, you need to have a acceptable level of English. The students can prove this in form of a IELTS test score, PT test score, or a TOEFL test score. To get admission into diploma programs at level 5 and level 6, the students must have an overall IELTS band score of 6 with no band less than 5.5 in any of the 4 modules of the test, or an equivalent score in a PTE or a TOEFL test. For bachelor's program also, the students need to have an IELTS band score of overall 6. The admission into postgraduate diplomas, the students need to have IELTS band score of overall 6.5 with no band less than 6. And for masters also, the students are required to have an overall band score of 6.5 with no band less than 6 in any of the 4 modules of IELTS test, or an equivalent score in PT or a TOEFL test. So this was about the English language requirements the students need to meet to apply for admission into New Zealand. Having enough funds to support yourself while in New Zealand is the third requirement which the students must meet in order to apply for their New Zealand student visa. The students need to have enough funds for the tuition fee and cost of living for the entire duration of the course. Let's say that you are a student who wishes to do a 2 years program in New Zealand. So as per the policy, you must have access to funds of 2 years of tuition fee and cost of living. Out of this, the first year funds must be readily available for you, and the second year funds you may show in the form of a payment plan. The amount of funds required is the tuition fee for the entire duration of the course and cost of living, which is currently at New Zealand dollars 15,000 per year. So this is the funds requirement the students are required to meet as a part of their visa application process. Other than having funds, the students also need to meet the requirement of family income documents. It's not only enough to have funds, you also need to have proofs that your family has got a regular income. The students can prove this in the form of the documentation, like if your family is into business, then you can attach the documentation of your business, like your firm registration certificates, your current account statements, and various other documents to support that you have a business. If your parents are in job, let's say they are in a government job, then you can attach proofs like their government identity proofs, their GPF statements, their Form 16, their bank account statements where the salary is credited. So these were the examples of the income documents the students may attach with the New Zealand student visa application. fifth requirement the students need to meet is of health requirement. You must have an acceptable standard of health as per Immigration New Zealand. If you do not have that, your student visa application may not be successful. The students are required to get their medical done as a part of their visa application. The sixth requirement you must meet is of having a good character. Students are required to get PCC, that is police clearance certificate, as a part of their visa application process. It is mandatory. Another point to mention here is that the student must also not have been banned from any other country. If this is the case, let's say that before applying for student visa to New Zealand, you applied to some other country and you had a ban placed on you. So as per the policy, you may not be able to get your student visa, as meeting the character requirements is a must to get New Zealand student visa. Friends, I hope you find this information useful. For any query you may have about your New Zealand study visa requirements and the application process, and if you would like to apply for your New Zealand student visa in 2022, please contact West Highlander. We are a team of highly experienced and expert counselors who can help you throughout the process. Thank you.